Hi there, boys and girls. Are you ready for story time today? Today, we're going to read the story Little Miss Naughty by Roger Hargreaves. I have to warn you, Little Miss Naughty is very naughty indeed, as you will soon find out. Are you ever naughty? Sometimes, I bet. Well, Little Miss Naughty was naughty all the time. She woke up one Sunday morning and looked out the window. "Looks like a nice day," she said to herself. And then she grinned. "Looks like a nice day for being naughty," she said, and rubbed her hands together. That Sunday, Mr. Uppity was out for his morning stroll. Little Miss Naughty knocked his hat off his head and jumped on it. "My hat!" cried Mr. Uppity. Would you knock Mr. Uppity's hat onto the ground and jump on it? Or step on it? No, you would not. That afternoon, Mr. Clever was sitting in his garden reading a book, and do you know what that Little Miss Naughty did? She broke his glasses. "My glasses!" cried Mr. Clever. Would you break Mr. Clever's glasses? No, that's expensive. And not nice. That evening, Mr. Bump was just standing there, minding his own business. And guess what Little Miss Naughty did? She ran off with all of his bandages. Would you take Mr. Bump's bandages? No, she's not being very nice. And bandaged up Mr. Small. He cried. It's difficult to say anything when you're all bandaged up like that. Mr. Uppity and Mr. Clever and Mr. Bump and Mr. Small were very, 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 very cross. Very, 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 very cross indeed. "Oh, what a wonderful Sunday," giggled Little Miss Naughty as she walked along. "And it isn't even bedtime yet." She must like getting in trouble, I think. Being naughty like that. First thing on Monday morning, the Mr. Men had a meeting. "Something has to be done," announced Mr. Uppity, who had managed to straighten up his hat. They all looked at Mr. Clever, who was wearing his spare pair of glasses. "You're the cleverest," they said. "What's to be done about Little Miss Naughty?" Mr. Clever thought. He cleared his throat and spoke. "I have no idea," he said. "I have," piped up Mr. Small. He knows what to do. What would you do if Little Miss Naughty was being naughty? Would you tell her to stop? Would you go talk to her mom and dad or the teacher? I bet she doesn't have very many friends. "I know what that naughty little lady needs," he went on, "and I know who can do it," he added. "What?" asked Mr. Uppity. "Who?" asked Mr. Clever. "Aha!" chuckled Mr. Small, and he went off to see a friend of his. Somebody who could do impossible things. Somebody who could do impossible things like make himself invisible. I wonder who that could be. Do you know someone who can turn themselves invisible and do impossible things? That Monday, Mr. Nosy was asleep under a tree. Little Miss Naughty crept toward him with a pot of paint in one hand and a paintbrush in the other, and a rather large grin on her face. She was going to paint the end of his nose red. But just as she was about to do the dreadful deed, something happened. Tweak! Somebody tweaked her nose. Kind of like a pinch. Somebody she couldn't see tweaked her nose. Somebody invisible. I wonder who. "Ouch!" cried Little Miss Naughty, and dropped the paint and paintbrush. She ran away as fast as her little legs would carry her. Excuse me. On Tuesday, Mr. Busy was rushing along, as usual. Little Miss Naughty, standing by the side of the road, stuck out her foot. She was going to trip him, head over heels and heels over head. Oh dear. Again, not very nice. Very, very naughty. But just before she did, something happened. Tweak! The invisible nose tweaker had struck again, and it hurt. Ouch, cried little Miss Naughty, and ran away even faster than her little legs would carry her. On Wednesday, Mr. Happy was at home, watching television. Outside, little Miss Naughty picked up a stone. She was going to break his window. Naughty girl. But just as she brought her arm back to throw, guess what? That's right. Tweak! Ouch, cried little Miss Naughty as she ran off holding her nose. And so it went on, all day Thursday, tweak, all day Friday, tweak, tweak, all day Saturday, tweak, tweak, tweak. By which time, little Miss Naughty's nose was bright red. But by Sunday, she was cured. No naughtiness at all, thanks to the invisible nose tweaker. On Sunday evening, Mr. Small went to see him. Do you see how red little Miss Naughty's nose is from being tweaked, pinched? Hello, Mr. Impossible, he smiled. Thank you for helping to cure little Miss Naughty. My pleasure, said Mr. Impossible. But it did take all week. Mr. Small grinned. Don't you mean all tweak? Get it? All tweak. Little Miss Naughty. I feel rather sad for little Miss Naughty. Maybe she didn't learn how to make good choices when she was younger. We know what's right and wrong. And if it's naughty, we don't do it. We know how to make good choices, don't we? We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.